Excellent. Well, let me gavel the meeting. Oh yeah, I should probably turn off that silly background, but hi, I'm Chris, KB1KHI.
Barry, K1BFD.
Larry, W1LEB.
Jeff and 1SLM.
Chris, KB1NLW.
Okay, cool. Well, great to have everyone with us. Let's see. We have been doing these virtual meetings for lack of physical meeting space, and also just because this seems to be a really good format to be able to have people participate without, of course, fear of any sort of exposure, but also from great distances without having to travel. So I hope this is
The other thing, I've gotten good feedback from people that weren't able to make the meetings, but they're able to watch the video of the meetings. So they can stay caught up, because I know KB1CYO has to drive home from Bill Ricker every day, and you know it helps him out because he can watch the thing at his leisure.
Yeah. Yeah, and it definitely is a nice way to take in the meetings. Let's see. So I don't know that we have a whole lot of official business to cover. We're sort of in this virtual mode for a lot of our activities. It doesn't mean that we don't have necessarily the hot or cold events. I'm guessing that my video feed may be getting glitchy because I'm getting those indications that I've got a bad network connection. So I'll try and,
You're doing fine.
excellent. I'll try and keep it relatively quick. But let's see. Do we want to start with the treasurer's report?
Sure.
And I think I don't think we got one from last month either. So, but you're usually good about that. You know what you've given and what you haven't. So,
Yeah, so I'm going to start with June.
excellent.
Okay, we started out with 673.49. Interest 5 cents. Let's see, and then we go to July. We got dues of 11.35, interest 5 cents. So we had 684.94 at the end of July. And we go into August, dues of 10.83, interest 5 cents. The PO Box 162. And let's see, in September, 5 cents. And
Making that interest.
yeah, rack it up to 5 cents. And the Zoom 79.64. So right now we got 454.23.
454.23. Cool.
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Okay. It is so accepted. Sorry, I try not to step in on the actual motions because I'm the one fielding them, I suppose. Pardon me for my silence there. Thank you very much. Wow, that's awesome. Obviously some ins and some outs, but it's important stuff. Yeah, you said that we paid our Zoom, and I forget what the other one was.
No, PO Box.
OPO, yes. Excellent, very good. Cool. And yeah, we got some good stuff going there, but excellent to see that. I don't know if we have a secretary's report.
Nope.
Not particularly. I can give a quick recap of what we spoke about last time. We did at our August 26th meeting, we discussed the outcome of the HOT event, very successful event. The town seemed happy. Lou, N1UEC moved heaven and earth to actually make that event happen. Bernie Cooper's family, God bless him, and he'll be massively missed, but they were very appreciative to the club for what we've done to help and for our friendship to Bernie over the years. And they're going to be back next year again, I think, as marshals, grand marshals to the parade. So we'll have another opportunity to prove our worth there. So that was a super successful thing. An item or two that we'll get to in terms of old business. We discussed the fact that the club call sign, because of Ed N1MA, because of his passing, making sure that stewardship of the club call signs had been picked up, and that was in fact the case. We talked about the breakfast meetings, 10 a.m. Tuesdays. Those are,
Those have been moved.
have they been moved? Or is Spot open now or?
Nope.
Okay.
We now go to, what's the name of that place, Larry?
Murph's.
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 For $1. All right. So for $1 more, instead of getting 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, and 2 slices of bacon, we get 3 eggs, 4 slices of bacon, potatoes, and an English muffin for $1 more.
Where is Murph's?
Do you know?
75 Broadway.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So if you're going back from where the Spot was, you got the Spot on the left. You got McDonald's to the left.
Yeah.
The very next left, it's in a little strip mall there. It's called Murph's.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
good. Yeah.
Excellent food. The waitress is outstanding.
Literally
know-
outstanding in the parking lot waiting for us.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. And-
Okay, well, that's good to know. So, yeah, I didn't have that on my notes for old business that we needed to refresh on. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm sure you would have brought it up. In terms of other stuff that we covered last month, we discussed that we've been using the services of Zoom for quite a bit, and that of course it makes sense for the club to be carrying the fees to have a professional account so that we can do things like hold meetings like this where we blab endlessly about Star Wars without getting cut off prematurely. So we did authorize that the club would reimburse Barry for stepping up and securing our Zoom license. And
they maintained the price that they gave me last time, which was half price.
nice.
So
Excellent.
that's a good thing.
It pays to have connections. And we discussed the need for more guest speakers and the lineup for guest speakers. But certainly club members who have topics of interest that they'd like to present are more than welcome. Let us know. We'd love to get you on there. Or if you know somebody who can give a presentation who'd be interested in doing it, we're looking for, obviously radio related topics are great, but anything that's public service related or that may be of interest to the membership in general.
If I could
those
just
are all-
inject into that,
Yeah.
ideally, if we could get, if any of these organizations have video presentations, like ARRL or some of the bigger retailers have video presentations, that's perfect, because I'd hate to have somebody show up and have 4 people on the
Right.
meeting.
I will
did-
not.
I'm sorry, I did check, and we can use the ARRL presentations. We don't
Okay.
have to ask them or anything.
Excellent.
Yeah, just you go ahead and use them.
And I, for one, will never be upset if only 4 people show up for one of my presentations.
Yeah, but then again, we had somebody from the league drive up from Connecticut one night, and I think we had 7 people there.
Yeah, that
Like-
can be a little embarrassing. That's
That's
where
what-
Zoom is again a little bit better, but
Yeah,
I'll tell you, the only reason I'm hyping my presentation for next month is just, I think it's going to be a fun one. I think I'm going to hopefully have something there for everybody, and you'll all be having me come dig up your yard. You'll be digging it up with me by the time I'm done. But just to round out the report from last month, after the meeting wound down, Chris gave a wonderful, KB1NLW gave a wonderful presentation on feed lines, some really cool stuff about some measurements that he made with feed on his feed lines, and how to see what's really going on with the electronics and really SWR of your setup. But very informative deep dive on that, and some great detail too. So that's what happened last month, just sort of as a fill-in for a rough version of that. So that brings us to old business. In terms of old business for my notes anyway, one of the things that we discussed was club swag. We have been discussing over the last couple of months just whether it would be possible to get some hats made up, maybe some jerseys or safety vests or other things that club members might be able to use, but that also could represent the club well, and possibly serve as a mild fundraiser to help support our other expenses, as we've talked about. So that's an ongoing thing. I don't know, Barry, if you'd like to talk a little bit about what you've got going with that so far.
Yep, found some hats.
Awesome.
Let me show you the logo that he put together for us. And I mean, obviously we could change it, but I thought it was kind of cool. Let me do a screen share here and see if I can find it.
Is this covering up the MAGA logos on the hats?
Yeah, we're gonna get red hats.
Yeah.
They're gonna say "Make amateur great again."
Actually,
Yeah.
all of the hats, because I'm ordering them for 3 different groups, all of the hats are light colors. And let me, where do I go here? I gotta go.
You're gonna love this, Chris.
Actually, Chris, you've got a pretty good idea there. We could get red hats with gold lettering that say "Make amateur radio great again."
Okay, I am sharing my screen. You're seeing my screen, right?
Yeah, we see Boston.
We are. We see Boston right now.
Yeah, that is not the logo. Let me.
What's that island?
I
It's
don't know.
near the Esplanade.
Is it?
Is it an island, or is it just a spit of land that comes out from the shore?
No, I think that's out there. I don't think that's connected. I think, yeah, you can see the hatch shell on the left side of his picture there. It's been a long time since I've been down there.
My lawyers are in the building that's over on the left with the spire on the top.
There it is.
Oh, the old Hancock.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Little patriotic.
So yeah, definitely heavy on the patriotism, which we'll let that speak for itself. And as I understand, this design was donated to us by a friend of the club. Is that the case?
By Joe Grant, who I'll show you a couple of other ones too. That's the one that we're proposing for the radio club. For EMARG, same logo, event support, and unfortunately, there's a lot of letters in this, so we had to go with a wide enough, graphic.
Yeah.
And lastly, the VE team will have these. Nope, they won't. they will have these.
So they're nice. It's kind of nice that you've got the theme tied together. It looks like probably, if I was guessing, and this isn't a criticism at all, this is probably from some kind of a template of, here's a million hat designs that,
He
that
subscribes. He subscribes to them.
yeah,
And he's allowed to. We're allowed to. He's allowed to put them on things, sell them. We can use it on the website, whatever.
yeah,
Uh, We did try to find something radio oriented. There is nothing.
yeah.
it-
But that
Rickety
doesn't
asshole.
surprise me as much.
Yeah.
Um,
But we couldn't find anything that
Yeah.
had to do with radio.
Yeah,
I mean, you could have a Kenwood radio, but the
right.
problem is when you try to overlay the lettering and that stuff, it got really jumbled. And I actually had a picture. I don't have it anymore. It was a mock-up of what it will look, the hat will look like with the logo on it.
Right,
Uh,
right.
So
I should find the at one point I had done when I issued the first and only Louis Award. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yep.
So I had done a design then that was a microphone, a radio, and an antenna, and it was like 3 layers of plexi that would get put together into the trophy. Certainly that's up for grabs if we can use something like that. The other thing, so I'm looking at that logo and I'm thinking that would either look really good or it may be too busy for the embroidery machine, but it would probably look really good. I'm tempted to give that a shot and try it out. Again, heavy on the patriotism, not necessarily for everyone's tastes. I don't know if people have feedback on that aspect of it or in general about that. How you feel about that logo? Would you be interested in club gear that was adorned thusly?
Well, I definitely would.
Yeah,
Is that-
I'm
Definitely.
I'm in all three. I'm in all 3 of those groups, so I'll have 3 hats.
Right.
well, why not with all the hats you're wearing as it is?
Yeah. Now, what I'd like to do, if you guys want to do it, is I'd like to order 10 of them that we can sell. I think I mentioned what it would cost us to you, Chris, right?
Yeah, and that sounded reasonable. I mean, we don't want to, we want a small markup so that the club can do a little bit of a fundraiser for it. I think anyone who's buying one of these understands that part of it is supporting the club, but I think what you proposed was reasonable, wasn't and I think the ultimate price is really good. I mean,
We could sell them.
you
We
know.
could sell them for $10 a piece and make a profit.
I mean, this hat I think I bought for $20. So, it's definitely I think what you had proposed, I think the club was making a small markup on what we were paying to
I can get the hats for
buy.
$8 a piece.
Yeah, and
I
I think you were
think you should-
proposing.
I think you should sell them for 15.
I was thinking the same thing, to be honest with you.
That
Well,
seems
we
to be
can,
But we're
but-
also getting advertising value out of it.
Yeah.
But
And quite frankly, there's just the 5 of us basically that are the active people. You got 3, 4 more that are occasionals, and sure they'll want a hat, but after that, then what?
well, here's the thing, okay? If it goes over well, they are willing to build an online store for us. So we
Right,
could have t-shirts, sweatshirts, polo shirts, all that stuff. And we don't have to handle squat. Basically, you go to the online, there'll be a link in our website. You go to the online store, you order what you want, you pay them, we get the, so in the case of the hats, if we wanted to sell the hats for $15 and somebody was to order a hat, we get back $7. And
Will they give you that same price where they're shipping individual orders and processing it?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
what
a
I'm
good
thinking, is that
question,
may
yeah.
be a different pricing structure.
Or they
I'll have to
might,
find out.
or they'll probably charge on the order for shipping would be my guess, that
Yeah.
it'd be $15 plus, $5 to get it to your house or something, which may not be ideal for people. Yeah, I mean, it
Well,
seems,
most people buy from Amazon and not everybody has Prime, so that, I don't
Even-
think that that's actually.
Yeah, but even if you don't have Prime, if you're willing to wait a week,
Yeah,
you can get free shipping.
yeah.
so I don't think that that's that's necessarily would be a deal killer for them. I mean, I have a couple of things that I want to get from Buddy Pole, but the damn postage costs more than the total of the parts. So
Right.
yeah, that I have an issue with.
Yeah.
So I would move $15.
Well, first of all,
Second.
what I would suggest is that we get some. I want to order 50 hats. I'm going to get 20 for EMAG ESG, the event support group. I'm going to get 20 for the VE team. Lou's going to take care of that, and I would suggest we order 10 of them because we'll probably sell 5 of them right here.
Well, yeah, we'll sell 5 of them right here. I mean, I had said I would even possibly buy 2 because I'll eventually.
I might too.
Funny story. So I'm going camping this weekend, but last fall when I went camping, I was sitting up late at my fire and it was burning down to coals and I was just about ready to go to bed. And I kind of dozed off in my chair and I woke up and I was thinking to myself, this is a really nice fire. Then I realized, where'd my hat go? I had like nodded forward and my hat fell into the fire and caught fire. And fortunately, before I fell into the fire, I woke up. But it was just like, oh, this is a really nice fire. And there was like 10 or 15 seconds of me enjoying my hat roasting away in
burning.
the coals before I pieced together.
Well, you know, a lot of times we do.
So I'll buy 2 hats just in case that happens.
Yeah, and I will too. But a lot of times we do events that are during the warm weather, and
Right.
wearing a black hat or a blue hat, which is what React has now, and it's got the wrong logo on it, and the wrong name. But it's like wearing a furnace on your head. Whereas these are the vented ones in the back.
Yeah.
And they're light colors.
So now a question would be also, are there any like high visibility colors available?
He didn't have them now, but he can get them.
Because that is one issue I have actually had in the past at some of these events, is realizing that I'm not wearing high enough visibility clothing to be, for instance, suddenly directing traffic at twilight. And so if the garb that we were promoting to club members was actually potentially something that might help them in those situations, that could also be a good
He
thing.
has access to that stuff. I was looking for something inexpensive.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
to
I
get the
imagine like a
brand out.
neon yellow or a neon orange is probably
Orange,
gonna be an
yeah.
expensive option. And it may
Well-
not look right with the colors in the logo, but
And the thing is that the logo can be, if say for example we bought black hats,
yeah.
he could have white lettering as opposed to black lettering. So I mean,
Right.
he's making up the stuff himself. He's got a
Yeah.
printer to do that.
But there's a lot of like red, white, and blue in there, and all of that would kind of get lost if you got like, say, a bright neon yellow hat or something
Yeah.
like that. That
Yeah.
might just overwhelm the logo entirely.
Yep.
Anyway, just a thought. Okay, yeah, 15 a piece sounds reasonable to me as well, and it's actually I think it's even a little bit more than what Barry had originally proposed, which to me also sounded like we'd be able to make a little money. The thing I would say is we could also
We'll make
we don't wanna
Jeff
tie
happy.
up pardon?
It'll make Jeff happy.
He's
Well-
smiling now.
Well, that's where I was going with this was, that we might want to swing a little bigger. I mean, you're talking about 10 Norwood Amateur Radio Club hats. which would be a pretty decent little fundraiser for the club. But
Not if we buy all 10 of them.
well, that's
Doesn't
the thing.
matter, the club makes out.
Yeah,
If
that's
just the
true.
people here will buy 10, I'm wondering if we couldn't sell 20 or 30, with a little bit of pushing. I don't know. But again, I don't want that necessarily to be the thing. The other thing is, the hats are really just the beginning. That we had also talked about, maybe things like coffee mugs or
Yeah.
jerseys, or even
Or even vests too, like especially for
yeah.
the events.
That's
Yeah, and
the-
I
the-
have an embroidery setup, so I could definitely do that. It's
the problem with the vests, the ones like the cops wear, which are very good,
yeah,
are not cheap.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, the ones like React has right now are garbage.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've picked some up down at the hardware store. You can get them, they're only a couple of bucks a piece, and they're those
Yeah.
mesh, like yellow
Yeah.
or orange type vests.
they're terrible.
Yeah, I could probably do something with those, but it would be I don't know how long those things really last, and I don't know that they can be washed or anything like that. So
What about the ones, so you seen the one that Keith wore, right? Barry?
That was a long sleeve shirt, and he got that at a closeout sale. That was, I mean, it's yellow and it's got the black band around it.
oh yeah, yeah, nice.
And white
Now-
reflectors.
Yeah. Now, one of the things
Oh
with
wow.
vests is I have a ham radio vest that I wear to the Hamventions and that stuff. It's got, a microphone loop up here. It's got pockets, lots of pockets, which you need when you're walking around a flea market.
Well, or really for what we're talking about, which is okay, you're doing the cold event or the hot event, and you're directing traffic and making sure people don't run over a hayride or something.
Yep.
It's visibility, but it's also, you need your microphone, you need your radio.
Yep. And
Um,
that's the difference between the cheap vests. If you put a radio in your top pocket, it's your vest's going to be on sideways. Whereas if we got decent ones, is the guy I'm getting them from actually works for Marathon Sports.
wow, yeah, yeah.
All right, so anything that they sell, he can get like quickly. If they don't sell it, he can order it.
Hmm.
So, like in the case of t-shirts, I've got a couple of yellow and a couple of orange t-shirts that are, decent, decent weight and that stuff. But again, I'd like something a little lighter for the summer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, right, we have a hot event, we have a cold event,
Yeah.
and
In the cold event, you're either going to be wearing a raincoat or,
But the hot event, we're generally, it's not so much a visibility issue, at least as far as I've seen. In fact, if anything, the hot event, we almost want the roadie effect.
yeah,
When I used to do help, with stage productions and stuff, they'd be like, okay, you want to be wearing like a black t-shirt, you want to be invisible. You want to be so that, like, if they point the camera at at the grand marshal, you don't want to stand out in that frame. You want to be background.
yep,
And I could definitely see that for the hot event, that there's not a lot of situations where we really need the visibility there. The cold event, though, totally different story, because half of the job is opening and closing the street. And I remember it, particularly myself, one occasion where I did feel that I almost got hit by a car, because it was that time of night and people couldn't see me, and
yep. I agree.
so, but anyway, but the swag idea, I think, is great. I think there's a lot of different ways we can uh realize that. Again, the coffee mug I'll definitely buy. I think I'll buy a hat or two. I mean, I think that's a decent price.
Should I order up 10 hats?
I would think so. Does
Jeff,
anyone have any objections to that?
before you vomit, that'll be $80.
All right.
Does anyone have any objections to that?
No,
The
motion to accept.
But let me just, before you do that, let me just ask Chris, not to put you on the spot or anything, but what do you think about the logo?
I'm not sure if it's got too much on it for a hat.
Mhm.
That's the only thing, you know, if you look at Larry's hat on the display right now, it's, you know, it's just got one word on it.
I'll tell you where that came from. He sent me a sample of one that he made up for the Army. It was for one particular group, and it said United States Army, and then it had the picture of a deuce and a half with a with the emblem of the group. I wish I had that.
See, and that I can understand, because for an army group, it definitely, the patriotism is right on. For us, it's a little, but I mean, again, I don't think it's wrong. I think it's, you know, as you say, it's not like there's a lot of radio themed clip art that you can really choose.
One of the options he showed me was, and I think I showed it to you, Jeff, was instead of the American flag on the eagle, it was the blue flag, the blue line flag. And I said, yeah, that could piss people off.
Yeah, I think that's probably even more of a statement than just the flag. Like the flag itself, that's the thing, is it's funny because it's sort of like the whole thing about saying Merry Christmas, that it shouldn't be at all a statement one way or another. It should be something people can just say. Unfortunately, in these times, so a lot of these things are sometimes polarizing.
Well, that's why I carry a firearm.
Anyway, I don't want to
And he
derail it.
broadcasts from a bunker.
Let me just, and a broadcast from a bunker. Yeah. Let me just bring up one other thing. If you look at the two events that we support, one of them is 100% patriotic.
Absolutely.
100%.
All of the shirts I have from the last 10 years have the American flag on
Yep.
them. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and as I said, I'll buy 2 of these hats as they are. I'm not, I don't have an issue with it. It's just, as I say,
We've never, you know, the React gear that we've got these winter jackets that cost us a fortune, but basically
They're
they've got
beautiful, by the way.
they've got an American flag on the arm.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I've gotten a lot of comments on that, but they've all been positive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm even getting positive comments when I'm not standing next to Jay Lewis. You know,
What I like about those jackets is that those make you look like a cop or someone who has authority. You know, just me hanging out with my radio, you know,
Yep.
trying to tell people to go somewhere, you know, they're going to tell me to go somewhere.
Well, again, that's why you carry a gun.
Well, hopefully
Or
it
you
doesn't
hang
come to
out
that,
with
you know,
Jeff.
hey, this road's closed, you know. Anyway,
I was trying to find and I'm not going to be able to find it, I know. But there was, I think I sent it to you, Jeff. It was the wrong logo. It was for one of the other groups, but it showed what it would look like. That
yeah.
patch is a PNG, so it can be shrunk down to 1 inch by 1 inch. The whole thing. So it's
And what's the technology he's using to put them on? Is it a silk screen or is it a
vinyl?
Okay.
Iron-on, I guess is how he does it.
Yeah, okay.
Heat
And
transfer.
he's got the machine that does it.
Nice.
I hate iron-on patches for t-shirts.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, they fall apart over time.
And they sweat like a pig.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
you know,
right.
you wear it on a hot day out there for a long event, and when you take it off, the emblem's on your back.
Yeah, yeah, you've got that effect, that sticker effect.
But again, you know, for an initial order, I mean, I didn't want to, you know, pick a $20 hat because
Yeah,
we'd never
yeah.
make any money on that.
No, yeah, I think you positioned it right. as I said, I'll take two. If we come up with an alternate logo, I'll probably take two of them too. So, but let's also think, hey, polo shirts or, again, if we can find a decent like safety vest to put it on. Certainly if you're talking numbers like 10 of them, I can do those here on my machine. But, if we were going to be doing 50 of them for, given out at events or something, then that'd probably be something we'd farm out to a professional.
And there's tons of them that do it.
Yeah, exactly.
See, my wine has disappeared into the background.
What has?
My
Oh, yeah.
glass-
That's the beauty of a virtual.
Oh. Right.
The problem with the green screen is that everything shows up,
Yeah, mine's well, sort
That's
of
the problem I have too, Chris, is my wine disappears continually.
Yeah. Oh,
That's because you amateurs are drinking wine.
so- we drink the box wine, and the first time I got it, it said last 3 months when opened.
Yeah, sure it does. Yeah, my father-in-law gave my wife a one of those wine saver, corks, and
Mhm.
he gave it to her, and she said, like, "What's this for?"
Yep, you never have a leftover bottle of wine.
I do not have the picture of the hat with the logo on it on this machine.
Oh, so yeah, you said there were different color options for the hats. Is that, I mean, I don't want to turn this into a huge, like, let's micromanage the choice, but if you're getting a small number of hats, you probably want to stick to one or two tasteful color combinations, I would assume.
Yeah, I think we did blue, and we did tan and white for one of them. We did gray and white for the other, and we did a blue and white, a lighter blue. Again, I was trying to
Oh,
avoid
so
the
each
black.
so each logo is on a different color hat. That's an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay, cool. Good. Yeah. Okay, so
Just
then
the point that the darker colors, definitely, I have the issue. That's why I'm bringing it up. The darker color hats really show a salt line.
right.
Because even with a vented hat, you're still gonna sweat. You're standing in the sun doing stuff on a hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Although a lighter hat, you can get ring around the collar too, I've found. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I love your Moxie hat, by the way. That's seriously awesome.
like the
I'm in
hat
front of the international.
ate the drink.
Oh yeah, Moxie is rude.
It's
stuff,
it's
but,
Oh no, nope. Everybody.
bullshit.
There's only two types of people: people that like Moxie or people that absolutely don't like Moxie. There's
Yep.
never anybody that, yeah, it's okay. It's either one or the other.
opposites attract. My wife grew up drinking that stuff, and yeah, I've never been much of a fan.
Well, since
But-
Coca-Cola took it up,
But that's a
now
great.
it is garbage.
Oh, really? They changed it? That's a
Yeah.
shame.
They said
And
right off the
someone who
bat
never
it would
liked that
not
crap, I
change,
still
you know.
can appreciate it for what it was trying to be.
Yeah,
But that's a great hat, though.
thank you. Front of the
Cool.
International Spy Museum down in DC.
Really? Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm sure Chris recognized it.
No,
No?
no. Does it track where you go?
No, he's got the vaccine to do that.
Oh,
I'm sorry. We shouldn't even be joking about this. Okay, so anyway, I think that sounds great. Yeah, why don't we? I'd say at least 10 hats, because I mean, as I said, I'll take two. It sounds like we've got at least 5 or 6 of them sold right here, and that's before we start arm twisting any of the people who couldn't be here tonight. So. Sounds like, if anything, almost not enough hats, but I say,
Gotta
let's
start somewhere, and
And
Let's not
always
overdo it.
reorder.
he can crank
Exactly.
them out relatively quick. And
Yep.
until we figure out, you know, how we're going to get them to people.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we can bring them to the breakfast.
Yes, that's a great idea. To
Yeah,
pass
you
them
and
out.
Larry.
Oh, we'll be there to hand them out to anybody that comes to breakfast.
Yeah.
So the good news is my work schedule changed. It used to be Tuesday and Thursday that I was working, and now it's Tuesday and Friday. So I still can't make
Ah,
but one of these days I'll call in sick or something and make the breakfast so I can pick up my hats. But anyway, that sounds like a good number. I'd say at least 10, but let's not overdo it. Once we sell those, that'll bring in enough that, you know, we can fund more if it seems like there's a lot of interest.
sure.
And
And I
then
mean,
also we can figure out what else, you know, is it t-shirts? Is it, you know, is it vests? Is it polo shirts? Is it all of the above? What do we put in the catalog for that virtual store? And get people excited about promoting the club.
yeah. All right. So when I talk to Joe, I'll have him do 10 for us.
Cool. Sounds good. Okay.
Jeff, I'll pay for it. You can reimburse me.
Okay,
Okay, and 10 of them, it sounds like would be 80 bucks.
80 bucks.
So, yeah,
Yep.
good. And it seems like we'll recoup that pretty quickly once we all buy ours.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if each of us bought two, just what's on this session right now,
That's 150
bought
bucks
two.
right there.
that's $150 for an $80 investment. So
Yeah.
we'd make 70 bucks.
Yeah.
So
And then the second round, we jacked the price up. Oh, you want one of these too? Yeah, these are limited edition. We'll get.
and we can mention it on the net, you know, and see who's interested.
Exactly.
I'd like to get one so I can take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And-
Oh,
that's the
another
thing, if they're-
special announcement.
If they're easy enough to get multiple rounds, that's good. But on the other hand, yeah, but if there's huge interest and we know that we can move, you know, twice that many or 3 times that many, you know, we should probably go for it. But again, I don't want to. If Barry, if you're putting up the money up front, I don't want to make you say, "Oh yeah, put up $1 million for hats, and we'll pay you back Tuesday."
Yeah, trust me, 80
Yeah,
bucks
it's
ain't
in the mail.
80 bucks ain't gonna break the bank.
So
Yeah, I think 10's probably not a bad number to start with. That's enough for you to get pictures, to show them around, to get people excited, and then, you know, we can hype them on the net and show them off at the cold event and so
Well,
forth.
hopefully by the cold event, we'll have a winter version.
Of a
Yes.
hat?
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a thing with, you know, fur.
Oh,
Much-
totally.
I'm not
No, I'm just
getting
saying a full wool cap, not a vented cap.
A Where's
wool ones?
Waldo? Totally a Where's Waldo cap.
yeah, that one would have to embroider those.
Yeah, well, yeah, with K1 JMR knit right into it, that'd be awesome. I'd buy
So-
that hat.
So one thought, you know, we could have the kit version, which is just a white hat and a needle and thread.
Yeah.
Right. Or
Still gonna-
the or
still
the,
gonna cost
the
us-
knitting needles and the red and white yarn.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, in all honesty, if Joe's making $1 each on these hats, it's a lot.
Mm.
And he designed the logo for us. He's actually got the iron thing for a hat, so we can put the logo on the hats.
Yeah.
So he's got that gear already.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, it seems like a pretty reasonable price. It seems like we can definitely move enough of these that it's not putting the club treasury at risk.
Yeah. And what we can do is, you know, we can show them around, see if there's any interest, and then say, okay, how many do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
And,
I think once we all start wearing them around, you know, people are going to be asking.
Yeah.
Well, gonna have to have Lou dig out some of those old shirts and we'll just wear them out and call them legacy shirts.
Yeah, they're pretty
Right.
lame. They're pretty lame.
I don't think I have one of the lame old shirts. I know he had a box of them at the last field day kind of thing we did, but anyway.
You know,
So,
normally, it's you get what you pay for, but this is a case where we want to get the branding out there and see if people would be interested. Like, hey, you want to buy a hat? Yeah, and well, man, I really wish you had a sweatshirt. And we'll just keep track of that, and
yeah.
that's the stuff we can put on the store. I just have to talk to them about how the shipping on that works.
Right, right. And yeah, exactly. Work that stuff out. But yeah, I've seen that like with the robotics team, they do the same thing. They have, half a dozen, maybe a dozen different apparel choices, everything from sweatshirts to hats. And
Invest.
and people order what they want and they pay and the team makes a little bit of money but the way they do it is, the team gets this big order of everything and they sort through it and give it out to everyone. So we may have to think about, whether that's part of it is some form of distribution to people or whatever. But, if we have to throw them out of an airplane over everybody's house, we'll figure out something.
Drone delivery.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, Keith could take care of us there.
Nice. All right. So that sounds like good. Sounds like 10 is probably a good number. Why don't we move ahead with that? And we did sort of touch on my next order of old business, which would just be the cold event. Last we heard, the town of Norwood was still planning to hold the cold event, which would be the tree lighting event and the visit from our good friend from the North Pole, which I guess at this point, the new tradition is that it happens the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Hey, there you go. Yeah,
I think
watch out. You may be volunteering.
they tried screwing around with that and changing the day one year. They wanted to have it be the same as whatchamacallit.
Oh, that shop small Saturday, whatever.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh, well, there was also like a town day or some chamber of commerce thing. I thought
Yeah.
that's why they moved it to Saturday from Sunday was the,
Yeah, I have no idea
Shop
what
store.
they're gonna do. I have no idea where the hell the horses are gonna come in because that street is still blocked off. Which, by
oh,
the way,
the street in front of the,
where the horses
Theater.
come
in front of the theater that's closed.
Yeah.
Oh,
they got tables out there, but I don't know if they're gonna be there, in the dead.
oh, is that
ass.
like a
They had
dining,
that last year.
dining
They
situation?
come down for the winter.
Did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
so they should be gone by then.
By the way, speaking of that area, do you guys remember where what was it called? There was a Chinese restaurant on the corner. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Chinese restaurant on the other side of the street, like where the reviewing stand is, just down the street a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's now a Japanese restaurant, and me and Beth have been there a half dozen times. It's awesome.
Hmm. Oh, good.
And
Good.
if you're looking for good Thai food, we've been where the hell is it? If you know where it's in Franklin. There's a mall down there. There's a Shaw's and that stuff. There's a Thai restaurant in there that blows the socks off anything around here.
That's down by where the Indian restaurant is that I go to. Curry
Yeah?
House.
Okay. Yeah, the Thai restaurant is outstanding.
Hmm.
We've
Well,
got a
they used to
real
go to a Thai in Foxborough, but it seems to have gone downhill.
yeah, and there was I never really liked the one on Route 1.
Right, the Siam.
I never really liked that.
We went through a phase when that first opened. It was actually a really good restaurant, but then it went downhill and we
Yeah.
stopped going there.
It
And then
was
it went-
good till they moved. They were up closer to the golf course, next to
Okay.
where there's a Mexican restaurant, and then they moved down into Norwood. Or
Yeah,
wherever.
they're
But it
in
went
the strip
downhill.
mall on Route 1, but they
Where
even
Acapulco's
there,
is?
they were pretty good when they were first there, but
Yeah.
it just-
Yeah, it definitely slid.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Anyways, we're
Um,
getting off of.
Yes, we are slightly. So anyway, the cold event, it sounds like possibly the street may be closed. We'll have to find out about that. We'll have to obviously see what, we don't have our normal channels of contact to the town, so it'll be sort of an experiment to see, first of all, how they approach pulling off this event.
Trust me, they found us.
Yeah, well, and they probably will again. I mean, they certainly know who we are and they
Yeah.
know what we can do, and they're probably hoping that we can do more than we usually do to help them
Absolutely.
get through this. So I expect they'll come knocking, but at the same time, as I said, it'll definitely be interesting to see.
If it's like
uh,
everything else the town does, they're gonna wait till the last minute.
Yeah, yeah. And that should be fine, except for I would think that the guys providing the hay rides would probably appreciate a little bit of advance notice, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
again,
maybe somebody should be a little bit proactive and, you know, give them a kick in the tuchus.
You'll end up owning it.
yeah, if you want to reach out, you're by all means welcome to, but I'll point out that
No, I have no ties to Norwood
our
whatsoever.
our very own, yeah, I mean, I was born there and I grew up there, and some of these events, the parade, I remember attending since I was a kid. So for me, that one's really a big one, the 4th of July.
Yeah.
I remember when they used to shoot off fireworks down at the airport too. That was always fun. We'd go down to my grandfather's house.
Well,
But,
Norwood did the fireworks. Sorry, Walpole did the fireworks one night. Then when they had the 4th of July, Canton did it. So
Yep.
I would do. I'd go down and watch the Walpole ones. You know, before they built the library, and you know, you
right,
place to
right.
sit. So now I watch it from the window at the condo complex here. And then
From the
the
bunker.
yeah, but it was that was awesome. And then I would do the Norwood parade as part of the Norwood Amateur Radio Club, and then I go over and do the fireworks in Canton as part of CERT.
Yep, yep.
So it was great.
Well, so anyway, yeah, a lot of these events are near and dear to my heart. The tree lighting ceremony, I think, is a newer tradition. I don't remember that one so much, although for all I know, they were doing it even back then. But I still do think it's important for us to support it.
Yep.
We certainly know when it's likely to happen, and we can certainly be prepared to support it. I
Lou's
expect,
keeping his finger on the pulse on that one.
yeah, I expect a little bit of chaos on the part of the town, and I guess more my approach in these type of situations is to obviously be there to support and be there to hopefully help them not drop the ball, but at the same time, not be in their way as they gain their footing.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got a lot to figure out about how to run these events.
Are there any people involved with a town that is at all like Bernie was?
Not yet.
Okay, so you're kind of waiting for that person to develop
That's
and take the
yeah.
lead and
Yeah.
I mean,
show the continuity year after year.
Bernie physically was doing probably about 5 different jobs.
Yeah.
But really his deep roots were the thing that they've lost here, that he knew everyone. I mean, you'd see him, I watched him for years at the finish line of the parade. You'd see him shake hands as he handed off the checks to the different groups there. He knew every one of those people. He'd chat with them for, the 10 seconds he had while they were rolling past. But you could tell he had a personal relationship with everyone who showed up to do that.
Big time.
It's a huge gap. There's so much knowledge that they lost when they lost Bernie. And
That's because he was old school and everybody's in a rush to do it the new way.
well,
but nobody
coincident
knew how to do it.
coincident with his passing, though, there's also been a big turnover in town government in
Yep.
Norwood, which also caused a big discontinuity for them. Again, I'm really only just a former resident. I haven't lived in Norwood in almost 30 years now, but so I'm very, very far removed from what's going on there now. But they definitely have some challenges. Bernie was there forever and he was doing this forever. he personally made it happen. And so, I think the town's it's gonna take them a while to figure out how and if to replace what he used to do there.
For
So
sure.
for now, Lou has stepped up and he's definitely filling that void. If he's not careful, that's
He'll end up owning that one
go.
too.
Yeah, it may be too late already.
I thought he already owned it.
No,
Yeah,
not that
probably.
one. Not that one.
Well, oh, not the cold event.
Not the cold event, the
Just
hot
because it
event.
hasn't
yes.
happened yet,
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
How
so
ironic that the boy from Long Island should be the one that's running Norwood events.
Right.
No, it's worse
Yeah,
than that. The
like you
Jew
said,
from
Townie.
the Jew from Long Island is doing the Christmas parade.
Well, and the funny thing also is, we are at the Norwood Amateur Radio Club, but man, personally, I have roots in Norwood. I still consider it to be my hometown, but there's very few active members, if any, at this point, who
In
reside in
Norwood.
Norwood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
our-
Brian.
Brian, yeah.
He ain't a
Yeah.
member.
so
Not a member?
He's not a member.
Oh, okay.
Really? Oh,
I've tried to shame him into it. Doesn't work.
the other one we tried to shame into it was Barney himself, but
Yeah.
he didn't have his license, so we couldn't get him to get a license, and so
We
so
tried.
anyway, so we do we can expect, first of all, some chaos, possibly even not very good notification. I think as a club, we should be, first of all, prepared to, as usual, support the event. Please, if you're available that day, let us know so that so we can plan accordingly to throw all the switches when they need to happen, so that Santa's magic doesn't happen without us.
That's right.
But
Well, Jeff knows the one in the building. I know the one up at the power pole on the front side of the mall there.
yeah. And
common.
half of it is the 2 hours of chasing down the guy from the light department to get him to unlock the box.
Yeah.
And then realizing that, oh, somebody locked it again while our back was turned. That happens a lot.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, there's lots of that kind of fun. And then, of course, all the fun of manning hay rides if we have the manpower for that, but even just directing traffic to help people on and off and make sure that that it's only horse rides and not cars. So a little bit of work to plan for there for the cold event. So again, I'll be there, and I hope you all can too, but spread the word.
I'll be there.
I'm planning on it.
Yeah, me too.
Excellent.
and I think I'll be on the vineyard. So,
Oh, excellent. Well, no better place to be. Excellent. All
Yes,
right.
there
Well,
is. Hawaii.
everyone I know who's gone to Hawaii goes back, so you're probably right. I've never gone there.
Yeah. Me either.
Well, they said to me when I first went to the vineyard, but it's even more true in Hawaii, I believe. Is once you get the sand between your toes, you can never completely leave.
I could believe that.
And I was on the vineyard an awful lot over the 20 or so years, 25 years. But since I've been to Hawaii, that sand keeps itching me all the time.
There you go. The closest I've been to the vineyard in quite a while was that while we were down at the Cape last summer, we watched Jaws at the drive up at Wellfleet.
There you go.
Anyway, okay, so the cold event, let's plan for that probably the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and stay tuned for more details as
In other words, next month's meeting is where we more or less have to make our commitments.
yeah.
Yeah.
But keep the day open if you're available. If you're going to be off the mainland, obviously that's not possible, but you could be net control anyway, Chris.
oh, That would be
Anyway.
with Echo Link.
Right, right. Yeah, oh, that would be an interesting experiment. Anyway, so yeah, let's look forward to that and dress warmly, watch the forecast. Sometimes it even rains those days, and it's always good to be prepared. Let's see, the only other old business I had written down here was just to mention the breakfast meeting, which I think already came up, and we mentioned that it's been moved to Mike's.
Murph.
No, Murph's. Wow, my handwriting is terrible. Murph's, which is also on Broadway there, so a couple doors down or whatever from where Spot used to be.
Excellent food. Excellent food.
Sounds good. I really hope to make it one of these days. I'll
You've
just
been
have to
saying
call-
that for 4 years.
and occasionally I'm actually available on a Tuesday, and I realized too late that like, oh, I should have gone over for breakfast. But yeah, I'll probably play hooky one of these weeks or quit my job or something. Who knows?
Cool.
Just do a Zoom day and just say, oh, I'm booked for that particular time.
Oh yeah, my boss is pretty good about that. But for instance, I went out there today because tomorrow I'm going to be playing hooky going to the Cape. So, yeah, I do have a somewhat flexible schedule, but the old, oh yeah, I went for breakfast with the guys and then I showed up out in Western Mass at, 2 in the afternoon. Doesn't cut it too much.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's kind of what I have for old business. I don't know if there's any new business to discuss.
No, we kind of did them both together.
So Barry, I've got a question. Are you able to just send out an email to members?
Yes.
I think it'd be worth sending out a reminder for the monthly meeting, along with the Zoom and the password.
I'll do that.
Because- Yeah, because I think a lot of people just don't get around to doing it. If you send out a reminder the day of or the day before,
I can do that.
yeah.
Well, and especially from my own experience, I have, believe it or not, once or twice managed to miss a meeting because I've had it in my mind that, oh, it's going to be next week. And then it turns out
Yeah.
not to be.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. You probably noticed July I wasn't there. I was actually on vacation in July, but I was planning to attend remotely anyway. And then I screwed up and realized that I had already missed the meeting. So, but anyway, so I think the reminder does help because where our meeting schedule kind of skips around month to month, sometimes it is a little hard, and where we're now doing this new thing of summer months that we haven't been doing before.
Right.
Some people don't even know we're doing that, but other people may not realize, okay, is it the the third or the fourth? Who knows? So
Well, the fall
Yeah.
schedule starts next month.
Right, which we're gonna start not next month though. October is still a normal month.
Oh, that's right too. September.
It's only
this
it's
was?
only
November and December.
yeah, it's November, December that we shift forward, so we'll be the third Thursday instead of the
Correct.
fourth Thursday. Yes.
Correct.
But pretty much every other month we shoot for being the fourth Thursday.
Yep.
And then the only special cases are February is our dinner meeting,
Which we haven't had.
which we haven't been able to do. We had a virtual dinner meeting. I actually have my dinner right here, but I'll wait until the video starts before I start munching on that. February would be our dinner meeting. Of course, December we do our elections, which isn't so much a special meeting as just something we do.
That's one where every officer is at the meeting. Because if you ain't, you could
You get
end up-
elected for more duty.
you could end up being the Veep.
It's actually funny, right? Because yeah. Traditionally, you had to actually be there to get elected, and as I found out, that's no longer the case.
Yeah,
Well, you're
you
not
got
there to defend yourself.
you've got to die to lose your role.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, we'll
President for
connect the
life.
wire. We'll make a Zoom connection down there for you.
So I'm, I guys, I'm flattered, and I absolutely love having the special hammer to wield and all that kind of stuff. But please, I know that there's many directions the club could be brought in. If anyone ever desires to take over this role, please speak up or let me know or have a conversation, because
Right,
I
I gotta
serve
go.
at the pleasure of
Gotta
the
go.
club. Pardon?
I gotta go. Sorry.
Oh, look at the time. Anyway, yeah, no, this really is an amazing role, but at the same time, it's bigger than just one person, and certainly it's not exclusive. It's not something that I feel any particular ownership of. It's more a
Stewardship.
You have it.
stewardship. Yeah, there we go. Thought I was missing a syllable there, but anyway, enough said. So that's our old business. I think we decided there's not much new business unless somebody thinks there is. Anyone?
Nope.
No, got nothing.
Cool.
So let me just mention something about the presentation this evening. This is a video that was done by somebody else. He gets credit for it at the beginning. And it's a walk and talk of the Dayton Hamvention in 2016. And I might have been there. I don't remember. Did we go that year, Jeff?
No, I don't think so.
I went a couple of years that you didn't go.
I think we went 2015, but I don't think we went 2016.
Yeah. So, anyways, the Harris Arena got condemned and got ripped down, and that's where the Hamvention was forever. It was a dirty, nasty building,
So
but the flea market outside was amazing. You could not make it through the outdoor flea market if you got there when it opened and left when it closed. You could not make it through that flea market in one day. So what we used to do, Joe Heck, myself, Jeff went down with us one year, Lou. What we'd do is we used to stay at the University of Dayton. They rent out the rooms dirt cheap. I think it was $25 a night or something like that, but it was great. And we went to the Hamvention on Friday and Saturday, and sometimes even Sunday, but usually just Friday and Saturday. And what we do is, one thing was guaranteed: one of those days was going to rain. It was going to rain. So what we did is, if we got there and it was overcast and nasty, we'd do the outdoor that day, because everybody else that went was doing the indoors. And the indoors takes you a day to get through too. So what we'd do is we'd do the outdoors, and then the next day when the sun was shining and everybody that was inside is now outside, we'd do the inside. It was truly an amazing thing. I mean, you've been to, I remember people telling me how big it was and that stuff. And, it's like the first time you go to Disney, it's like your expectations are high and they exceed it. Well, Hara Arena was the same way. I mean, you went there and, you look down and as far as you can see is just outdoor flea market. And then you walk past the building and you look to the left and you realize there's that again on the other side of the building. I mean, it's absolutely huge. Well, as I said, Harrah's got condemned and finally got ripped down, and they moved it to a new location, which is a lot nicer, but I think it's a little bit smaller, and the traffic getting in there, from what I understand, is absurd.
sucked.
You went to the new one, right, Jeff?
Yeah, Yeah, it was, the truck was hard getting into the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you
Very cool.
Rather shaky, but good.
well, he was just using a handheld camera for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I remembered it.
And that kind of gives you an idea of what it looked like, but the only way you could really tell is to be there.
Yeah.
And as far as you can't just go once, Jeff and I can both attest to that.
Yep.
Uh, the drive there sucks. It's what, 14, 16 hours. But man, I'll tell you what, it is just amazing. If you can't find what you're looking for there, it does not exist.
It's
Uh,
funny watching the footage of that. I was remembering going to some of the computer flea markets that they used to have back in like the 90s.
yeah,
It was that same kind of setup. You'd go and, there'd be 500 people in line just getting into a place. And it looked a lot like the indoor section there. The outdoor reminded me a lot of the MIT flea market, but on a much, much larger scale.
yeah.
But the indoor, I just couldn't stop thinking of those. You'd go and you'd buy a whole bunch of parts and you'd go home and put together a computer. Those kind of trade shows. They used to be pretty common. I haven't seen one in a long time though.
The interesting thing about Hamvention, if they mail you what you bought, you don't pay sales tax on it. The places that have like the battery tech guy that you see at almost all the flea markets, he has a booth inside and outside. So you look, on the inside, and then he'll send you outside because you don't pay sales tax if you buy it outside either. One of the years that me and Jeff went there, Joe Heck was looking for a new HF radio. So, we went around to Kenwood, ICOM, Yaesu, seen what they had, and then looked around at who had what for what prices. The place that Joe ended up going, the deals were so good on a Yaesu 450D that not only did I buy one, so did Jeff. So, and they mailed it, they shipped it, so we didn't pay sales tax. And as I said, the price was ridiculously low. It got to my house before I did.
Nice.
Now, one year, you talk about being aggressive. We went Friday and Saturday. We left and drove back so we could make the MIT flea market on Sunday.
Yeah, that's hard.
Is that crazy or what?
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, you go to the MIT flea market and it's like, yeah, you can fit this in a real small corner of
Right.
Dayton.
Sure.
Uh,
Well, the
I don't know
trick
if
to
you-
MIT is you got to go to the first one of the season
Yeah.
because that's when everything's there.
Do you remember the sign that said Mendelssohn's? It was the big tent.
Yeah.
Well, Mendelssohn has a warehouse probably 5 miles from the Hara Arena. We went there, and when I say a warehouse, it's an old GM assembly plant, 7 stories high from one end to the other of surplus stuff.
Gee, that's crazy.
So it's not
Barry?
just, yeah,
That they're going out of business.
Mendelssohn's.
Yeah, I just saw that within the past 4 months. But guy did a walkthrough of it, and it's unbelievable the stuff they have in there.
Yeah, and he brings a fraction of that stuff.
Whew.
He's got the big tent. It's always it was always in the same place, and it's probably 500 feet long by 75 feet wide. I mean, it's huge. So he sells his stuff outdoors. On the inside thing, literally every single radio manufacturer was represented. If you remember, there was one section when he was talking to the British guy. I don't know if you noticed, there was somebody from the Japan Amateur Radio League there. They have, you'll find people from all over the world that come in for that. It's amazing. So unfortunately, if you hadn't gone, you're not going to go, because, as I said, from just perusing the video of the new place, it's big. It's pretty big, but nothing like the original.
But you'll probably never have to walk through a literal shitstorm.
Yeah, that happened the last year I went. For those, has everybody heard the story?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, then I won't repeat it. But yeah, that was the year that we decided to do the outside the first day and the inside the second day, because it was a little overcast the first day, so we did the outside. And we were standing inside, and all of a sudden it got really crowded inside. It's like you could see out the doors that the sun was shining and that stuff, and it's like, what the hell's with all of this? And they told us.
The floodwaters are rising.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, around town and that stuff, literally everybody is a ham. I mean, you would have a tough time running into people, in the Dayton area that weren't hams.
Wow.
And, people would go and they'd buy stuff at the
Except
show.
for
And
that young lady in the video, she didn't seem
Yeah.
to know too much.
yeah,
about
well, I got to be honest with you, there weren't many of them there.
it.
I think he found both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about the girl with the quicksilver hat?
Yeah, the musician.
Oh no, no,
Oh,
her.
the musician, she was a ham. It was.
Yeah,
it was
I actually I saw her
Oh,
there one of the years I went.
Well,
I
I'm
hope
going to
she's a hell
call
of
it
a
quits,
musician,
guys. Good night, guys.
Hey,
Hi,
have a
Chris.
good one, Chris. The
Thank-
video will be up if you want to watch it again.
Okay.
Have a good one.
I hope she was a good musician because she wasn't much to look at.
No,
So-
she
I
actually.
used to actually be in work for a music company, Cakewalk. They made music software, and back in the early '90s, I went to a couple of the music trade shows, NAMM, which is obviously the big industry trade show down in Anaheim, and the couple of years I went was right around when the industry was kind of waking up to the idea that well, they used to call them booth babes,
Mhm.
and they were just waking up to the idea that probably wasn't a really cool thing to be doing in terms of marketing. So I remember it was like this sort of abrupt, like you went one year and everybody just had had people. In fact, I remember going to a show and talking to a woman who was in our booth, and she was saying, "Oh yeah, I work for the company," and I was thinking, I've never met you before. But then in following years, it suddenly was just out of fashion to do that, and it was as if the industry had matured overnight. But
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see many booth babes there, but I got to tell you, when you'll meet people that you knew existed, but like for example, I went to the Heil booth, and the
like
guy,
going to Walmart.
yeah, I went to the Heil booth because I needed some replacement ear pads from one of my sets, and the guy that waited on me was Bob Heil.
That's cool. I've got his
And
talk box. It's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
he'd sit there and did you ever hear the story of the talk box, where it came from?
I have, but feel free to share again.
He was putting together a gift. I think it was a birthday gift for Peter Frampton. And he gave it to Peter Frampton.
For Peter Frampton's like 12th birthday or something, apparently.
No,
No, Frampton
that's
was,
the thing.
because he used that a lot in Frampton
Oh, yeah.
Comes Alive
Absolutely.
recordings.
Great album.
And he invented that. Another thing that a
Yep.
lot of people don't realize is he was friends with Pete Townsend.
Ah,
And Pete Townsend had called him one day and said, "Look, I'm doing this thing. It's called quadrophenia. He says, I need a sound system for that. That's where the quadraphonic sound
Ah,
system
no
came from.
kidding.
That was Bob Hiles.
That's
Uh,
funny. Now, this is the second time today that I've been discussing Pete Townsend's sound production techniques. So, we're on a roll here.
Yeah.
Bob Heil is a real interesting character. You know what his favorite pastime is?
Pipe organs.
Yep.
Water skiing.
No,
Pipe
pipe
organs.
organs.
Oh,
Yeah.
He
As
told
a
us
kid.
he told us a story. I saw him at another convention. He was actually the featured speaker was the head of the FCC enforcement group, who was also a ham. And so I went. I wanted to see him talk. Yeah, a Southern lawyer. And he was followed up by Bob Heil, and Bob told us some of the stories and that stuff. He used to work for a company that tuned up pipe organs, and he had an idea of being a portable, putting together a portable sound system. So if a band came in to an arena or whatever and they didn't have their own gear, he could show up and do, with the speakers and all the stuff. So his boss called him in one day and said, hey, I just rented out the arena to a group and their van got impounded.
Grateful
And
Dead.
Grateful Dead. Yeah. He says, hi, I'm this
There
is
you
Bob
go.
Heil. Tell me what you're looking for. And he says, oh, he says, my name, who was the famous guy in Grateful
Jerry
Dead?
Garcia.
Yeah, he said, this is Jerry Garcia. Now, he was the road guy for Elton John. He was the road guy for the Who for a while, the whole bit. The man has never had a drink, never taken a drug, and doesn't smoke.
And yet he's always high. He's so excited.
Oh, he's wearing his yellow sneakers.
Well, he wears purple a lot now too.
Yeah, but the times I saw him, he was wearing the yellow ones.
Yeah.
But he is amazing. And if you call Heil and you get their tech support line, you may be talking to him because he says he tries one day a week of manning the phones on the tech support line.
Yeah, he's always in there. He likes being there as
Yep.
much as anything. He likes being there. And it's a small family. Usually the employees are long-term or relatives of former employees, that he likes to keep a small, tight company of basically friends and family.
Yep.
And he's done one hell of a job. But yeah, his history is amazing.
And as if you start talking to him, he'll stand there and shoot the shit with you for half an hour. I mean, he's a regular guy.
Yeah.
And his best friend is the lead guitar player for the Eagles. What the hell's
Yeah,
his name?
he's just got a who's who of friends.
And he's a ham too. What the hell's his name?
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe
Joe
Walsh,
Walsh
is a
is
ham.
a ham, huh?
Yeah.
So now
yeah.
this is not the first time today that I've been discussing the Eagles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's really good friends with Joe Walsh.
He's made stuff with Joe Walsh too.
Yeah, he went to Ringo Starr's wedding. I mean, the guy has been everywhere.
He's designed mics specifically for a certain performer.
Yeah. Well, the
mean,
talk box,
Yeah.
he designed that as a gift.
Yeah, but actual microphones that end up being in production, but he can tune. He's so into the technology of it, or the art of it, actually, that he can make things to make people sound what they need.
Yeah, and what's the other thing I heard about? He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
For the quadraphonic sound system.
Yep.
But yeah, he just threw that together and invented it. I had a quadraphonic sound system. You play a vinyl record and you got different noises out of all four speakers.
Right.
Yeah,
He was quite a character.
I ran into Gordon West,
He's
Gordo.
even more of a character.
I ran into him. I mean, you don't know who you're gonna. You look at the name tag and you say, "Geez, I know that." You say, "Shit, that's Gordon
Yep.
West." So I was shooting the
Gordon
shit with
West, you
him.
mean Batman?
Yeah,
No,
not
different.
No, not Adam
Adam
West.
West.
Gordon West.
Gordo.
Just messing with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But as I said, that flea market, Hamvention was all that. That was Mecca. That was Mecca.
Nice. My video is starting to freeze. I think my bandwidth is hurting.
Oh,
Exhaustipated.
well, I
Right.
think we've pretty much beat this horse to death. So
Well, that was a pretty cool presentation. Definitely, it felt
Yeah,
like being there.
yeah, I watched it several times, just to see if there was anything that I had a cut or whatever. And it's like, damn, I'm just going to run it just the way it is. And that was another one I got off of YouTube.
Nice.
Huh.
Nice. Thank you very much. Well, I'll definitely put mine together. I mean, it would have been ready for this month, but I think with another pass or two through my slides, it'll be a much better presentation. But I'm looking forward to presenting it. So that'll be up. I guess I'll do it next month if
Yeah, you're on the calendar for that one.
excellent.
I'll
Excellent.
bring
Well,
my Garrett and my white Surf Pro, and I'll have them sitting here with me, and I'll be all excited.
you've got you said Garrett?
I got a Garrett and I got a white Surf Pro.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if only I could use them.
If you
Surf
have
Pro,
any
isn't
of
that
your,
isn't Surf Pro the company that pumps out toilets or something?
Not Surf Pro.
Oh,
Surf Pro. It's the one you can walk along in the water with.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, most of them you can submerge the search coil.
Yeah.
And in fact, I've actually been just lately doing a lot of detecting in shallow water. A lot of fun, but yeah, a truly submersible one is good because then you don't have to worry about forgetting and setting it down while you're in knee-deep water.
Gotcha. And before I forget, Chris, if you think of it, if you could throw together some synth clips for me,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely do that.
probably 20 seconds would be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, something you generally want them to be fairly quick and focused, but yeah, enough time for a little bit of fun there, but not so much that you lose your audience.
Yeah,
I'll put something together, definitely.
outstanding. I just need the audio MP3 format.
Yep.
If you've got some videos, MP4 format, because I can kind of stitch them into our presentations.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll give a shot at both of them, but the first is yeah, play around with some synthesizers and see if I can come up with some original audio that sounds reasonable.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Well, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Great meeting as always.
Yep.
And we'll, Larry, give me a call tomorrow when you're done with the senior circuit. And oh, by the way, Chris, I don't know if you knew this. Did you know W1CMF passed away?
Yeah. Let me think. Did we mention that last month? Were
Did we?
talking
Okay,
about that?
yeah. Time flies.
I think it had just happened last month, and we hadn't really heard much through the local grapevine about it. But yeah,
No, because
that's,
they heard it. They heard it from me, and then Dave was able to find the obit.
Oh, really? Now
Yeah.
he was still down in Florida, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
God's waiting room.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad. He was a good guy.
That's another one that, geez, you
I
know,
mean, and I know he had health problems, but
that's why he went to Florida.
yeah. Well, and he had family there, right? Wasn't that where his daughter was? or
His son was
something?
there.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I know that was sort of the reasoning behind moving down there, but yeah, that's too bad.
Anyways, I'm going to pull a plug, and that's going to pull a plug on all of yous.
Good enough. Otherwise, I won't know enough to go to bed.
There you go.
Exactly. We'll all
I
sit
got-
here yakking until we get kicked off, so.
I gotta kill it and let the video render.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see